This is a video on how I solved an issue with the Voccell DLS 70-watt machine with the rotary attachment. Any of you that have bought that rotary attachment have probably come to realize that with the table still intact, you really have no Z height whatsoever to engrave anything, and it pretty much makes it useless to even purchase that rotary, except for I figured something out that I wanted to share. So just for demonstration purposes, I already have the 4 bolts that are up under here. They're M4 bolts, I believe. I already have this taken out. And I would typically have a couple of washers, not a couple, but actually 4, that would go in between the table and these brackets to raise this up, and you'll see why in a minute. So anyway, I'm gonna take this table out real quick, so bear with me. Okay, so what I did is I mounted my rotary attachment to the bracket up underneath. What I did is I took a 5mm drill and drilled in line to the bracket through the rotary attachment here and there. Let me get an overhead view so you can see it. All right, so I just bottomed it out to the floor of the machine, and when I drilled and tapped into this bracket, I made sure that the center line of this was going to be parallel to my x-axis. It was relatively easy because this bracket here is already perpendicular to it. So you just kind of bump it up against there, drop it down so everything stays put. Drill with a 5mm drill through both of these, and then run a 6mm tap through the rotary attachment. And then I put some washers in between there because the wheels of the rotary attachment are a little bit higher than you'd want them to be. They need to be a little bit lower than that, so the table, when it sits back on here, it won't hit the wheels. And of course, sometimes, like if you have this attached, the scissor lift up high, you'll have to lower it so that the table will sit flat. For now, I have some zip ties. Zip ties are like duct tape to me. That's just to keep all this level, and it works great, but in all honesty, I'm gonna make another piece for here and then put it like a standoff with a bolt through it to make it, you know, pretty sturdy. But quite honestly, I don't think I even need to do that. It works really well. So anyway, the great thing about this is that I can lift the rotary and lower it. I can get the exact height that I want for any drinkware. And I mean, I've got plenty of room. So, like for instance, here's a cup. I think it's like a 22-ounce tumbler. And I mean, I don't know if you can really tell, but I got plenty of room. I believe I can engrave something that is around 3.5 inches in diameter, maybe even more. I'm not even really sure, but I know I can do just about anything. Any sort of glassware, tumblers, stuff like that. And of course, this is able to move. I'm thinking about putting a couple of things down here to make this maybe like a threaded piece down below, like a thumb screw to keep that sturdy. Something kind of annoys me, but anyway, that is how I solved my rotary issue. I mean, just 2 simple holes there attaching the rotary to that, and then, well, of course, a zip tie there, but you know, you can think of a million things to use to keep that straight. Now, another good thing is that I can put this knife bed in here. And as well as that honeycomb bed, it'll go in there just fine, and I can raise and lower everything just like I need to without ever taking the rotary out. The rotary's cable is running through the inside of the machine. Where I'm gonna find my key. So I got the cable here, and as long as the machine's off, I'll change out that Y-axis for the rotary easily. Super, super easy. So if you're doing kind of a production work with the rotary attachment and flat work, all you have to really do is change out the beds, and that's it. Rotary never comes out. You can get all the Z height you want, and you can raise and lower it to the exact height for engraving, stuff on that rotary. All right, that's it.